Good day to everyone. My name is Irena BAJS, and I'm Associate Professor at Faculty of Economics and Business in Zagreb, University of Zagreb in Croatia. My colleagues Irena TADIĆ, Siniša OPIĆ, and I conducted an empirical research and prepared a paper for this 39th IBIMA conference. Paper title is The Influence of Institutional Factors on Student Satisfaction with Online Classes During the COVID-19 Pandemic. During this presentation, I will give you a brief introduction in the subject, explain you the basic theoretical concept of variables analyzed in our research, and present you our research objective and hypothesis. After that, I will shortly explain the methodology of our research and also the main results. Based on research results, this presentation will be completed with final conclusion and recommendation for future researchers in this field. Online teaching has been used on a smaller scale in universities around the world for many years, but due to circumstances caused by COVID-19 pandemic, all classes in 2020 had to switch to online, which emerged as the best option for continuous and effective maintenance for teaching at all levels of education. Given the speed and unpreparedness of educational system for this form of the teaching, the question has arisen on success and satisfaction of the pupils and students with online teaching during the COVID-19 pandemic. In conducting online classes, student satisfaction is considered as one of the central components in the process of identifying success factors in online classes. So accordingly, our research analyzes student satisfaction with online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic as one of the main components in the process of identifying success factors in online classes at university. As a part of the empirical part of the paper, a study was conducted on the impact of institutional factors on University of Zagreb student satisfaction with online teaching during the COVID-19 pandemic. In conducting online classes, student satisfaction is considered as one of the central components in the process of identifying success factor in online classes. In general, student satisfaction is extremely important for faculties as it affects students' motivation, class attendance, and attracts prospective students and, of course, increases the income. For this reason, student satisfaction is an important indicator of the quality of service provided and plays a significant role in achieving and realizing the vision and the mission of higher education. The number of studies have shown that student motivation is one of the most important personal factors in the effectiveness of the learning process. Another very important factor is self-regulation. Well, students who use self-regulation manage time well and are willing to seek help from teachers and other students to achieve a higher level of satisfaction. Along with personal factor of students, another important group of factors that affect the level of student satisfaction are institutional factors of online classes and also their interaction. They represent a service area that is directly influenced by a service provider and represent a space and opportunity for improvement that directly affect the student's performance and satisfaction and can be raised to a higher level, which gives the service provider a competitive advantage. So, it can be concluded that success of online classes and meeting expectation of students are greatly influenced by institutional factors related to tangible and intangible parts of the service that students consume. In online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic, the importance of these factors is further emphasized because for students, since they do not physically attend the classes, these elements represent a direct and only contact with the service they consume. Student satisfaction survey highlighted the four most important institutional factors of online teaching: competencies of the teacher, related to understanding students' educational needs, having unique teaching skills, and understanding how to meet students' learning needs. The second one is the organization and the form of online classes they attended, related to curriculum, program organization, teaching objectives, and structure of online classes. The third one is the speed and availability of information during the studies. And the fourth institutional factor is the student expectation. The aim of our research is to determine the level of satisfaction and factors of student satisfaction with online teaching during the COVID-19 pandemic at University of Zagreb. Empirical research focuses on analyzing the impact of institutional factors on student satisfaction with online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. Those four factors: teachers' competencies, organization and elements of online classes, and fast feedback, and the fourth one, the students' expectation. So the following hypotheses were formed. The first one, the teachers' competencies during the online classes have a positive effect on student satisfaction with online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. The second one, organization and the elements of classes during the online classes have a positive effect on student satisfaction with online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. The third one, speed of feedback during the online classes have a positive effect on student satisfaction with online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. And the fourth one is that students' expectation from attending online classes have a positive effect on student satisfaction with online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. In order to achieve the goals and test the hypothesis, a quantitative research was conducted using a questionnaire. The questionnaire was distributed via social networks to various groups of the students at the University of Zagreb and via email in the period of July and August of 2021. The first part of the questionnaire includes demographic variables such as gender, age, type of study, year of study, and the name of the faculty the student is attending. The second part of the questionnaire measures the competencies of the teachers, organization and elements of teaching, speed of feedback, student expectation, and also satisfaction with the performance of online teaching in the circumstances of the COVID-19 pandemic. The scales used to measure the analyzed factors were taken from the relevant literature resources. Hypotheses were tested via linear regression analysis in the stepwise model. The research was conducted on a sample of total of 106 students from University of Zagreb. Most respondents were students of the Faculty of Economics and Business in Zagreb, followed by students of the Faculty of Teacher Education, who together make up almost 80% of the respondents. Descriptive analysis of student satisfaction with online teaching shows that students were generally moderately satisfied with quality of teaching, manner and organization of exams, and the time they had to adopt the material. The largest number of respondents believe that classes they attended during the COVID-19 pandemic were relatively successful. The lowest average grade was given to the statement that online teaching is the best experience of attending classes they had in previous schooling. As can be seen in this table, the variable student's expectation has the highest arithmetic mean, while on the other side, speed of feedback has the lowest arithmetic mean. The speed of feedback variable shows the students were somewhat less satisfied with it, and that effort should be put in the speed of feedback in online classes and further improving this segment of online classes. In this analysis, stepwise model of the regression equation was used, which takes those independent variables that have the highest Pearson correlation coefficient with the criterion variable student satisfaction. Those independent variables are independent predictors of organization and elements of online classes and speed of feedback. The following table, which you can see on the slide, shows the contribution of predictor variables in explaining the variance of satisfaction with online classes. All beta values have a positive sign, which indicates to conclusion that with increasing the value of predictors, organization and elements of online classes, and also speed of the feedback, the value of criterion variable student satisfaction also increases. According to the stepwise regression model, beta values show the degree of influence of each predictor separately. As the COVID-19 pandemic arose globally, all higher education institutions were directed by the authorities to switch to online forms of classes in order to maintain the continuity of education and in order not to interrupt the educational process. In accordance with the above results of statistical analysis, the most important institutional factor of satisfaction with online classes is the organization and elements of online classes, and then the second one is the speed of the feedback. According to research results, initial predictors of teacher competencies and students' expectation did not prove to be statistically significant. This confirms hypothesis H2 and H3 and rejects H1 and H4. These results confirm the H2 hypothesis. Organization and elements of classes during the online classes have a positive effect on student satisfaction with online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. This confirms that this institutional factor is very important for students in assessing their satisfaction with online classes they attending during the COVID-19 pandemic, and that with its improvement, the level of satisfaction students increases significantly. So, it can be concluded that well-organized classes, use of appropriate online teaching platform, effective management and coordination of teaching by teachers, and the ability of students to take responsibility for learning are aspects that have the greatest impact on student satisfaction with online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. The second confirmed hypothesis is H3. Speed of feedback during the online classes has a positive effect of student satisfaction with online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. Rejected hypothesis H1 and H4, which refer to teacher competencies and students' expectation, according to the obtained results of statistical analysis, did not prove to be statistically significant. Unlike previous research of Gopal and Associates in 2021, which concluded that teacher competencies have a significant impact on satisfaction, in this study, this factor did not prove significant for the level of satisfaction of University of Zagreb students with online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. The limitation of the research should be taken in account when interpreting the obtained research results. The biggest limitation is relatively small sample of respondents, which is why the above conclusion should be considered only indicative, and it would be useful to conduct more extensive research on a larger number of respondents. Also, it's necessary to take into account the structure of the sample in the future research and to include a larger number of students from all components of University of Zagreb. And at the end, thank you for your attention.